Hello ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Kartika, Medha, Rinjani, and I'm from Indonesia. Today, I want to present my analysis about geometric deformations and fractal batik in the pattern motif of batik. First, what is a batik? Batik is the artwork of the cultural heritage of Indonesia. The beauty of batik has been recognized by the UNESCO designation since October 2, 2009 that batik is one of humanist heritage. In other meaning, batik cloth is a two-dimensional work of art. Batik cloth sheets are painted or print with specific techniques and motifs. If we see from origin culture, we can divide it into two types. The first is classical batik motif or Keraton batik. This is from Yogyakarta Palace and this is from Surakarta Palace. Keraton batik usually using an exciting roll. And the second is free motif or coastal batik. Coastal batik is a batik motif that comes from the north coast. This is from Java Island and this is from Madura Island. If we see from the motif, we can divide it into two types. The first is geometric motif. Geometric motif is a batik motif containing elements of lines and area arranged over and over again. This is the example, it's like this, and the second is non-geometric motif. Non-geometric motif is a batik motif that aren't bound by the forms of measurement signs. So in the form of summary forms in nature, for example, it's like this. And the purpose from this analysis is to find out whether in traditional work art batik cloth there are several things that can be scientifically review using science in various phases of the batik cloth. Also know what branch of science can be used to analyze this batik cloth. This is the method. The first is literatures and the second is observations and analysis. This is the basic theory. In geometric deformations consists of translation, reflection, rotation, and dilatation. The first is translation. Translation is to move the pattern from this side to another side. For example, this is a sirangan motif from Kalimantan. The first object is like a half of fish, and then next we reflection with axis x, and then we translation with distance a, b, and then this is the result, and we improve of the object from 1 to 2, 3, 4, and etc. And this is the result. And the second is reflection. Reflection is a reflex the pattern using an axis. For example, is like this. This is a motif kabong from Java. This basic object is ellipse, and next we reflection with axis x, we reflection with axis y, and reflection again with axis z. And then this is the result is like this. For your information, this is the example that it can only used by the king in old era, but for now this is can be used for everyone. And the third is rotation. Rotation is it depends how much you turn the pattern. For example, this is a motif from Papua. This is the basic object, and next we rotation with 180 degree, and we reflection with axis y, and we rotation again with 180 degrees, and this is the result. And the fourth is dilatation. Dilatation is a change the size of the pattern, but don't change the shape. For example, this is the Sasirangan Kangkung motif from Kalimantan. The first is this is the basic object, and next we add with the other flower petals to make one whole flower. And then we enlarge this first object, and then next we minimize the other object, and we add all the object to flower sprigs is like this, and this is the result. And this is the fractal. Fractal is a never-ending pattern. For example, this is the basic object like this, and then we add with the other object, and we continue again like this one, this, and this, because fractal is a never-ending pattern. And the conclusion from these presentations is batik artwork, which is one of the nation's traditional culture, when studied in more detail on the development pattern of the base of well with mathematics, is a part of science, especially geometric deformation. The geometric deformations consist of translation, reflection, rotation, and dilatation. In addition to geometric deformation, batik is also using fractal. And this is the references. And thank you for your attention.